Okay. Hello. Good day, good evening, even good night. Hello, Viral Koenig. Hello, Preacher Bear. I'm gonna knock my 7 out. It's the 7th day of the year. Day 7, road to 365. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alrighty. You know what? I'll tell you what. I actually do think it's getting. I do think it's getting easier. It's interesting. That felt different than yesterday. All right. So, welcome, and thanks for the thanks, Homestead Bound Bear. Um, so I may or may not have more than one panda shirt. I will not confirm or deny. I think it's the 5th. I will plead the 5th. Okay, so, well, Preacher Bear, I hadn't seen you for a while, but yes, this year I'm going to be doing a lot of push ups. One for every day for the number of the day that it is. So on day 100, I'll be doing 100 push ups that day. So it's cumulative. Okay, so this video is specifically for those of you that are less familiar with who I am and some of the topics that I've addressed over the past year. Um, I'm pretty much coming up on a year of live streaming. I know I started in January of last year. I don't remember the day exactly, but it's not important. So there was this thing one day that oh, let me bring the restream chat up. Okay, there it is. So I came up with an idea. I had about 10 people watching that day, which was a whole lot for me. Um, Still is. And a lot of people were on board with the idea. And the concept was this, and I'm here to share it with you again. The name came later. The idea came first. The idea was this, that we would send, and I shared this with you a stream or two ago, but that we would send a postcard. It cost less than a stamp. I believe 22 cents is the current rate, but I can't, I don't remember that for sure. That we would send a postcard to every landlord of every abortion mill in America. We would send a loving and admonishing message recommending that they revoke or uh, cancel contracts with all their tenants that are abortion mills, appealing to the landlord as opposed to appealing to the abortion clinic itself. It's a little bit of a backdoor attempt. This idea came out of statistics and facts that first, there's a direct correlation between abortion mills in operation and abortions being performed. Direct correlation. For every abortion mill that goes down, there is a proportionate number of abortions that are no longer performed compared to the year prior. All right, see you in a little bit, Preacher Bear. So that's a fact. Okay. Number two, is there a precedence for landlords saying, I don't want to support this anymore. I'm through. You need to get out. You have 30 days. Yes, there is. Has it only happened once? Is it an anomaly? No, it is not. It's happened um, somewhere between 8 and 16, 17 times. It depends on different articles you look at. But it has happened more than once. It's rare, but it's not impossible. Well, what causes a landlord? You could say that it's an act of God, that it's a miracle, and maybe it is. However, can we play a part in that? Why not try? I would rather take out 500 abortions than only one. Is the one important? Absolutely it is. There are organizations that have statistically proven that for every $800 they receive, they can guarantee a life saved statistically based on the performance of ultrasounds. And their research and their statistics show that for every $800 they receive, it enables a certain number that will guarantee statistically um, that a life is saved. And is it worth $800 to save a life? I wholeheartedly would agree. Here's the difference. There are oh no, you can't see it. I've gotta bring this down a little bit. How do I do this? Okay, I guess I have to do this. So there are oh come on. Just chill out, yo. Just yo. Okay. There are 710, if I remember correctly, there was 723 back in March or April. There have been 13, based on my understanding, there have been approximately 13 mills that have shut down since then. That downward trend is continuing, and that is a good thing. So this is the ultimate list where you can discover every single state and find out exactly what is there. So in North Dakota, there is one, for instance. In In Utah, there is 1, 2, 2 in Utah. In Pennsylvania, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my gosh, 7 pages. Okay, well, Pennsylvania is just killing babies left and right. Not surprising, but always disturbing. So let me share some ins and outs of this. Okay, we'll go to some of the details here. I created this. I didn't create much of anything. I borrowed a pre-existing spreadsheet of approximately, let's see, where's this? I need this. Approximately 737 minus 52 blanks, so approximately 680 um, organized listings. Okay. I started to work with other bears approximately 9 months ago, 8 months ago, in working through each and every state and gathering details. I gave instructions, which is a tab on here, as to the exact, this is a map that indicates the proximity, red being the furthest away, um, blue being the closest. To abortion mills. So if you're in the red zone, almost no people here, for instance, in this entire vertical band, almost no people are getting abortions. Praise the Lord. I provided a bunch of resources um, for education purposes. I provided step-by-step instructions, how to use Netter, publicrecords.netteronline.com to look up addresses. I have videos that demonstrate the instructions, and Operation Baby Landlord at gmail.com as the email address to contact. I demonstrate how to gain information, specifically how to gain the mailing address for the landlord. So how do you find that? You look up the text, the freely existing tax information. If that makes any sense to you guys. This happened last night. Did you know that Owen Benjamin said that he was not going to be streaming today?
2 homosexuals out.
And of course, I happened to click on his page exactly when he's talking about. See, he's doing a replay of episode 669, and he's got 1,700 people. It's just a replay, guys. Just go to unauthorized. You can watch everything there. It's just kind of funny. Can't win for losing, as the saying goes. It's fine. Everything is fine. No problem. But one of the issues with this here was, so I had, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Legal information for every single state. Again, instructions, and then the master list. Oh, what are these comments? What are these comments? Oh, they're my own comments. Okay. So it's broken up over states, all the states as well as the District of Columbia, and there is a very incomplete list here. So everywhere you see red is something that needs updated. Okay? And everywhere you don't see an owner name is something that we don't have clear enough information to send a letter. So back to that $800. There's a organization, there's an organization in Pensacola that claims that for every $800 a baby's life is saved. And I think that that is valuable and people ought to continue to contribute financially to organizations that are saving lives tangibly, right? When you have the scope, let's say you get 50 people to send each, um, let's do the little cost postcard because I don't remember what the numbers are. I did some of the math back when. Um, Gotta find a postcard here. Postcard. All right, here we go. 2020 rate 35. That's what okay. So it was 35 before. It's still 35. Cool. In fact, they didn't raise the rates for anything as far as letters go. Okay, so anyway, postcard, 35 cents. So we'll operate off of that math, okay? So let's say we have 50 people that participate in Operation Baby Landlord. Okay, each of these 50 people spend, let's say on average, $20. So we are going to do this. We're going to say 20 divided by 35 gives you 57. 57 to send, that's not the same as the actual postcard. So let's say um, we'll just use Vistaprint as a benchmark. Okay. Standard 5x7 postcard and horizontal, and we want standard, and we want uh, that's more expensive, matte, uncoated. We'll use smaller numbers. So let's say you buy 50. That's a fine number. Look at that. So you can go right on Vistaprint and buy 50 for $15. You submit a design, you get it printed. Okay, $15. Is there other cost associated with this? I don't know. Maybe there's a little bit of a shipping charge. Let's kick and giggle it here. Hello, Fighting Bear. What's going on? I am giving everybody a primer on what Operation Baby Landlord means. Trying to kindle the fire again. It's been a cold, burning ember for far too long. Here, we'll just go with this. And then next, grayscale, blank included on the other side. Boom and boom. Obviously, there will be a little bit more, but I have approved. Continue as a guest. I'm just trying to see what shipping is, guys. It probably won't tell me, but Okay, so we're going to 50, 30 cents. Okay, 30 cents. So 30 plus 35. That's the gist. I'm going to go to next. And I want to see what shipping is. That's all I'm trying to figure out. So what is shipping? I don't want it. Just go next. This is obviously Vistaprint is kind of annoying. Okay, so here we go with delivery. So it looks like, thanks Homestead Bear. Thank you. 5 business days, $8. $8 for the 50, $8 for probably 100, $8 for probably 500. That's my guess. It might be a little bit more, but this is fine. So 5 business days, that's a very reasonable amount of time. $8, and then you might be able to get some discounts. So this is what we're going to base it on. $8, $23. We're going to baseline $23, whoops, with 50. Okay, that's 46 cents plus 35 cents. This is our baseline. Crap, it's not what I meant to do. It's 81 cents, but fine, whatever. But you get it. So it's fine. It's whatever. All right, so 81 cents is our baseline. Let's get out of Vistaprint. We'll get out of there too. All right, so check this out. How far does $20 get you? Not that everybody can afford $20, but can we get 50 people to afford $20? Probably. Probably. I think out of the 400 and almost 500 people, I think that we could probably get 50 people to do $20. And this isn't money that comes to me. This is money that you spend to do it yourself using this list that I make available to you by your request, if that makes sense. Okay, this has nothing to do with money coming anybody's direction except you take care of it. So Homestead, you say, let's get a list of landlord names, a giant list of landlord names. That's what this is. It's exactly what this is right here. It's every state in the United States. It is 90% of all of the abortion mills, and it is 20% complete, maybe 15% complete. Everywhere you see white means that we have assembled. So maybe more like somewhere between 10 and 15% complete. The thing is, we need sleuths. What are bears? Bears are sleuths, and we need more sleuths. And I've been asking for this for a while because I told the people that I couldn't do it all alone. I have done 1/3 of this list. I did have good helpers, but everybody gets fatigued because it's like it's this is an exhausting. It's easy, or rather, it's simple but not easy. It's a simple process. It's not easy. It's tedious. It's annoying, and you're having to hunt through and trudge through the most demonic, sickening, horrifying information in order to get the details you need to get. Okay. And you have to stay strong. You have to put on the armor of Christ. And I mean that quite literally. So doing this research and getting the names is not easy. California specifically is a state that requires Parcel Quest, which is a paid subscription. The only way we can get the owners, the um, the landlords for everywhere in California is pretty much through Parcel Quest, which you need to spend money for. California is the wild card there. Every other state, there's a process, and I show that process. But that being said, how far does $1,000 get us? Well, let's do the math. We have 81 cents. We're going to divide by 0.81. So this is 50 people, $20 each. How far does that get us? That gets us to every landlord getting 1.5 divided by, what was the number? What was the number? Hold on. Did I close the? It's okay. $710. So divided by 710, every landlord would get 1.7 cards at $1,000. How many? But let's just say, for kicks and giggles, that every landlord just gets one. Obviously, we don't have all 710 addresses of every single landlord. So right now, if we were to spend $1,000 right now, then the 35 to 40 landlords that we have names of would obviously get a lot more, divided by 0.81, divided by 30. Let's say I only have 30. So if the current list, we were to spend $20, 50 of us were to spend $20 and send postcards, each one of the landlords that I have on the current list would get 40 postcards. How many out of that 30 would say, whoa? So here's the thing. Would one? That's the point. Is, let's say, out of 710 landlords, okay, and in fact, out of the 710 abortion mills, some of them might be owned by the same person. When it says that Planned Parenthood is the owner, that doesn't always mean that Planned Parenthood is the owner. Sometimes there is a human being that has created a DBA that is actually behind that Planned Parenthood. That's the way it works. It's very strange. You'll see as you research how this works. Very, very weird stuff. But out of 710 guys, if we get one shut down, that's thousands, hundreds at least, but thousands of babies saved. And over the course of time, way more. So I've been talking about this for a while. Here's what happened. First of all, I went through a move 1,500 miles across the country. Well, here's the country. I went from right here to this part of the country all the way to right about here. It's behind this, square. I'm in Iowa. So I'm right about where this letter B is. That's where I live now. Maybe actually more about right here, if I had to be specific. So I live right about here. I moved it was 1,500 miles because I went up through Atlanta and then I went up through Kentucky and then I went over here. But that was a long way. It was a big move. And before I was operating off of a very old laptop and it was not powerful enough to do the research. So let me review the instructions and see. We'll do this. It makes it a lot smaller, doesn't it? So I provide a link here, Netter Online. And then I also provide a link here on how to get zip codes. And then that's just hover over B3 for the note. There we go. So what you do is you go to the master list. You get the address and you use that address to run a Google search. You need the zip code, then you find from the zip code, you find out the county that it's in. From the county that it's in, you find out the specific tax records from this website here, which maybe just click on it like this. And let's go to a state that I'm very familiar with, we'll go to North Carolina, and we'll go to Buncombe County where I used to live. And this is Netter Online. They've updated their website since I used to work at Navy Federal, and that's how I learned about looking up tax records, working in the real estate industry. So let's say you have an abortion mill in Buncombe County. So you go to Buncombe County, and then what do? You go to, because you're trying to find the mailing address of the person that pays taxes for a specific address. How do you do that? You're going to go to probably, and I give these instructions on this document here, okay? Click the state, the zip code, click the county. I've already done that. Every state is different. You will look, see, I give the instructions, so I'm following the instructions because it's been a while since I've done this. And I knew that I might even forget because as you don't do something for a while, you kind of can forget the process. But you'll look first in the assessor links. So let's go back. Now I give an example and I give a picture here, but let's go back to Netter. Is there something here that says assessor? Yes, there is. I'm going to hold Control and click to open up a new tab. It's a keyboard shortcut. It's all good. So you always accept. Never read conditions. I'm just kidding, but not really. All right. Then you have unpaid bills, all bills, parcels, so on and so on. How do you look things up? By the parcel. Can you look it up by owner name? Actually, that's typically what we want, but we actually usually want the owner name and the address of that owner name. We look up the street name. Let's see if we have anything in Buncombe County on the master list real quick. Let's go to North Carolina. And if you're interested in participating in this, please email operationbabylandlord@gmail.com. Do we have any Buncombe? Here's Asheville. So yes, we do. We're going to use this address, copy and paste it. We're going to use this here, and we're going to need the number, the direction, the name, and the type. So it is McDowell. It is street. Put there. We're going to need it 68. And we are going to put 68 here. There's no direction. We're going to click search. Planned Parenthood came up right away. And it's worth $1.1 million in Buncombe County on McDowell Street. I know exactly where that is. Again, I used to live in Asheville, North Carolina. So you get the parcel number. This is important. Parcel number is like the social security number of an address. So what we're going to do for this one here is we're going to go to alternative address column. Can you see that? Okay, good. So I'm just going to create a note here. And I'm just going to put the parcel number. It's obvious that that's a parcel number. We'll add more notes in a little while, but now we know that there's a note here. You hover it over, you can see it. So everything that you find, you go ahead and save anything that you find. So what we're looking for right now is we're looking for this. Check this out. This is actually more than likely the mailing address for the owner information. And this is beautiful. So in fact, North Carolina and or Buncombe County is going to be beautiful to search. In fact, it's amazing that I didn't already take, well, I did already do two of them here, but Buncombe County is just easy as peasy. So what we do is we take this owner address. Hold on, make sure that we're, okay, so I'm going to have to take that and move it down here because I put it in the wrong spot. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to paste that, and then I'm going to take this, I'm going to, whoops, X, and then we're going to insert note, and there we go. So now we have Boylan, and we have the owner name is not a name, but that's okay. So Planned Parenthood Health Systems, I'm going to copy that. And then I am going to go to here. Just paste that in there. And now I've updated this. Does it still exist? Yes, it does. So I'm going to put 1, 7, 2020, and that turns white. I'll save the document in just a moment. Everybody that participates in this, I expect to go to File and Download and save it in whatever form, specifically an Excel form or an ODS form, but probably you could just do Excel every time. I expect anybody that uses this to save it regularly so that there's multiple backups everywhere. Just in case anything ever happens, we have a network of people that have backups. When this list is complete, I have promised abortiondocs.org that I would give them my list. They were very excited about that, and they're obviously a great resource for determining. So, for instance, you go to North Carolina and you go right here, and the fact that this is on the list means that they are definitely in business. It's good to check here to make sure that they're in business, and this has all the information on what's going on with this facility and whether or not they're at risk at losing their licensure. No deficiencies, no deficiencies, no deficiencies. So unfortunately, they're trending in the positive. They're operating healthily. It appears that there are some based people in North Carolina and Asheville that are protesting. Thank the Lord. But obviously, it's not working. No offense to them. They need to keep on doing what they're doing. Um, Lord willing, they will be blessed for what they're doing. But yeah, this is the gist. And then, of course, we have this postcard sent. And I have decided to, regardless of anybody's actions, to actually start sending. I was unfortunately a victim of the toolbox fallacy. I was a little bit of a victim of the toolbox fallacy and thinking that I had to wait for some special event or some special quorum of numbers in order to do postcards. I'm going to start sending postcards now. I had a little bit of thoughts and or fears related to um, whether or not I would trigger some type of horrible thing that would cause the whole thing to unfold, and that is foolish thinking. Uh, yeah. So anyway, let's see what this is. This appears to be the bill. Sometimes you can see actual bill payments. It appears that they pay about $16,000. Well, back in 13, they were paying about $16,000, probably annually. You remember the property value is 1.1 million, 1.3 according to this. So here's a receipt. Sometimes you get to see signatures and that kind of good stuff. And if as you continue to dig around, you see further. Sometimes you'll see a name. Sometimes you'll see just further information. This was the Health Club LLC, which is not necessarily associated with the abortion mill because they changed names. Let me go back to Planned Parenthood in 2014. So everything from 2013 and before was the Health Club, probably not related. It wasn't until 2014 that they started to do exempt tax exemptions, which means potentially that they're not even paying. Well, they do pay taxes, but I don't know how that works exactly. But anyway, an alternative. Let's say that they didn't give us this beautiful mailing address, right? They don't give us a name. That's okay. We're not trying to dox anybody here. Oh, by the way, we need this because we don't want to get confused about where this billing address goes to. So I'm going to hit a space. I'm going to put that in there, and then that's done. So that's completely done. I can type Bunkum in here just because I know. And Open, closed. It's definitely open. Type open there. Person of interest is POI. And if you have no owner address, then you can start putting doctors' names and address, name, address, name, address. Yep. So this is how I've built the spreadsheet. Closed is green, open is white. And that's how I've got it. So for instance, this is person of interest stuff. You see how that works. So in the span of a couple of minutes, you've seen exactly how I looked it up, exactly how the process works. You essentially use Netter to identify. Netter provides you links to every county's tax and GIS and deeds and all that stuff. It gives you the fastest resource to find all those links. You're always looking for the tax records, and assessor is almost always the fastest way. And you learn that by using the instructions that tells you use the assessor links most of the time. If that doesn't work, move on to tax collector. In some cases, that's what you have to do. You'll then find property lookup link tool, like you saw me do with one of those sites. Some states are worse than others, absolutely. Reach out to Gospel Bearer, that'd be me, for assistance. Mostly just because I have the most practice. So what we have now above is so this is an example, and then found the following. I did a search, I found the following. We don't have a particular name, but we have the business we could look up, so on and so on. And then you just start doing Google searches. You do every kind of search you possibly can. If all you have is a name, you just start looking stuff up. You'd use deductive reasoning. It's kind of like Super Columbo, so on and so on. So these are beautiful resources. Missionaries of the Preborn, Operation Save America, Stand True, Stand for Life, standforlife.org, Human Coalition, Operation Rescue, Abolish Human Abortion, abortionclinics.com, and I should definitely include abortiondocs.org because that's obviously extremely. I can't do it on this. Let's see if I can switch. All right, cool. Let's go here. And now I can because I'm the boss. Just kidding, but not really. All right, so we'll add that one. I did that just because I didn't want the instructions page getting junked up. So you guys get it. So abortiondocs.org/clinics is going to be obviously a very important website to confirm whether or not a facility is open or not. So, and it always gives you the total. And like I said, that number has gone down since the last time we looked. So let me show you now this little process here. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Download. And this is the process that I expect anybody that participates to do here. We'll just go here and click here. And I've saved it. Now I'm going to go 1/7/2020. Name still the same, but put your name, please. And now it's white, not. So this after 48 hours, I believe, turns red. I believe at 24 hours, it turns yellow. Obviously, it's been 5 months. You know, that's just the nature of things. So this has been, in less than an hour, an explanation of what Operation Baby Landlord is, what it attempts to do. Hey, Chicken Man, what's happening? Operation Baby Landlord's purpose is to convince landlords to stop allowing murderers to operate within their property, and what we ought to do, really and truly, what we ought to do is develop. I wonder if I can add a sheet. Yes, I can. As gospel bearer, I can even, or as Operation Baby Landlord. I should have full rights as Operation Baby Landlord, but that's whatever. It's fine. So we're going to rename, and what we're going to do, Operation Baby Landlord at gmail.com. Templates for landlord postcards. So here's what I think would be most meaningful is to buy blank 5x7 nice paper, but just blank 5x7, just a huge, get a huge stack, 100, 500. Um, hey, intoxicating, aka Jeremy. I always call you intoxicating because it's what I'm looking at, but I mean to call you Jeremy. Um, I don't mean to sound so impersonal when I don't say your name. Um, so here's what Operation Baby Landlord is not about. Operation Baby Landlord is not about the shekels. It's not about the shekels. Okay. Operation Baby Landlord is about saving babies' lives. My headset is dying, so um, we'll just go as long as we can. It'll die probably within the next 20 minutes or so, and that's fine because it's probably close to 10. I would go longer, but it's all good. We'll see how long we can go. But I can always switch the audio. I don't have to have a headset because I'm not really listening to anything. Um, I'm just trying to keep my ears warm. It's a little bit of a joke. It's fine. All right. I'm drinking hot chocolate, by the way, with flavoring. Okay. Uh, so where was I at? I was going to come up with some templates on what we could write, but what I was saying is buy a huge stack, 100, 500, 1,000, whatever. 5x7 cards. Obviously, we already determined that it's 35 cents to mail a postcard. It's beautiful. You open up your mailbox. What do you see? You see something that you don't have to open. You see it. I think what would be most significant. It's beautiful, man. I forgot that you did your Tuesday thing. I'm sorry about forgetting. I'm sorry about forgetting about your streams. Um, I'm very disorganized in regards to how I'm going to try and get a little bit more organized coming up here real soon. So I'm sorry about um, just flying off the hip with my streams. But yeah, everybody check out Intoxicating Masculinity's stream. Look at his records. He just finished a stream about sovereignty. I bet it was pretty good because typically when you're tired, you ramble and say some pretty thick gravy kind of things. So I bet it's a good one. Good night, Jeremy. I see that you're tired, so have a good night. Okay, so get a huge stack of 5x7s. I'm not sure how the 35-cent stamp works exactly. Maybe there's a postcard stamp roll that you can buy or something like that. Point being, you could knock out a whole lot with a little. So 81 cents is the maximum cost for the most part. I think that you can get that price even lower, but 81 cents per card, 81 cents for the chance at convincing a landlord to shut down the abortion mill that he's allowing to operate on his property, regardless of how much money he's making as a landlord. He can get another tenant. Okay. But here's my idea. You buy a bunch of blanks, you hand draw something that touches your heart in regards to protecting a child's life. draw something that's meaningful to you. Somebody's going to notice that this is amateur art. If you're a professional artist, so be it. But they're going to be like, oh, whoa, whoa, what's this? You notice when something is out of the ordinary, okay? And then, whoa, you look at it, what's this about? And then you flip it over, you read it, you go, oh, whoa, wait, what? Somebody just wrote a postcard to me. How did they even know, first of all? But then they read it and they go, wow, that's really weird. Somebody just contacted me via postcard to tell me that they think that I should stop supporting baby murder. I'm going to have to think about that. Now you've got, 710 different types of people, okay? Um, each one of them is going to respond to that in different ways. And that's my point. We're not necessarily going to accomplish 710 closures. If we did, praise the Lord. However, what are we going to accomplish? I think that by sheer rule of the law of large numbers, we're bound to accomplish something. And like I said, if our group of people, say it's 100 people, let's say it's 10 people, but whatever the number be, let's say it's 1,200 people, whatever the number be, if we get one closed, we're going to save more lives than the number of people participating in the process in the first place. That's tremendous, guys. It's overwhelmingly tremendous. That's some hardcore chocolate. Oh, okay. So right now, what I'm going to do um, is I'm going to start writing out some ideas for what we would say to the landlords. I have not put much time and effort into this, but I certainly believe that it is a worthwhile thing to establish some of the things. Here, let me do this. We'll do 10 and let's go with 100 and we'll hit OK. That's fine. And then, yeah, that's fine. It's good to go. All right. So we'll go with Dear Sir, Madam. I'm going to do Steve. Okay. Just presuming that the dude's name is Steve or whatever name, right? Dear Steve. I know you can't see it. Here, I'll write it in another cell so that you can see it. We'll go to this one. Okay. And I'll write it here. Dear Steve, I am a father. Wonderful. You just write heartfelt messages. That's the point. Also a son. When my mother was pregnant with me, there were family members that suggested abortion. This, thanks be to God, was not an option that my mother seriously considered. I'm one of the fortunate ones. It has come to my attention that you happen to be associated with an establishment that routinely ends the life of preborn babies. I beg you, again, this is one of potentially countless examples. I beg you to consider ending your association and allowance of your sorry. I beg you to consider ending your association and allowance of this terrible evil. I request with great hope that you would ask the demand the tenant, and I'm gonna put tenant in stars so that you would insert name of tenant, whether it's Planned Parenthood or Women's Health Advantages LLC or whatever the name of the nonsense abortion mill is. I request with great hope that you would demand the Planned Parenthood of Asheville to vacate the premises immediately. Terminating and or canceling any existing contract you have with them. Period. I hope that you consider your tangible role in participation with the ending of babies' lives and realize that you can be part of, I don't want to use the word play, you can be part of the solution to proclaiming the sanctity of life, resulting in countless saved lives. Hi, Iron Argon. What's up? I pray that you hear my words and sincerely consider their weight. And I pray for you and your righteous decision in this matter. It's not over the top in regards to religiosity or church church lingo and stuff like that. Obviously, there's some of that, but you write your own letter. This is probably what I would write. It's I think I will use this on at least a couple of mine. Okay, but there you go. Let's do word wrap on here. There we go. And we'll go to a little bit wider. Go all the way out here. There we go. Now we've got it. So that's an example. Okay, that's what I would write on a postcard, and I would hand write it. I think that's important. Um, so again, this is what I would write to catch you up. Dear Steve, let's say the guy's name is Steve, right? Dear Steve, I'm a father. I have 3 wonderful children that I love, and I am also a son. When my mother was pregnant with me, there were family members that suggested abortion. This, thanks be to God, was not an option that my mother seriously considered. I'm one of the fortunate ones. It has come to my attention that you happen to be associated with an establishment that routinely ends the life of preborn babies. I beg you to consider ending your association and allowance of this terrible evil. I request with great hope that you would demand the blah 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 establishment.llc to vacate the premises immediately, terminating and or canceling any existing contract you have with them. I hope that you consider your tangible role in participation with ending of babies' lives, with the ending of babies' lives. That's what I said. And realize that you can be part of the solution to proclaiming the sanctity of life, resulting in countless saved lives. I pray that you hear my words and sincerely consider their weight, and I pray for you and your righteous decision in this matter. So that's my example. I want you, anybody that contributes to this, to come up with your own examples. And you can use mine. You know, everybody's different in regards to what their creative um, juices are and everything. Some of you guys are way better writers than me. Um, the point is, make it personal and, you know, honey, not vinegar. I think that this is on the verge of honey and not, I mean, it's got a little bit of sting in there, um, you know, but the point is every landlord doesn't need to just receive one postcard. They need to receive many personal postcards. They're going to see a postcard, they're going to be like, oh, this is coming from somebody else. How are these people getting my address? More than likely, this will result in media attention, and that's part of what I wanted to shelter from. But at this point, guys, I'm so over my stuff. Um, guys, I'm so over. I'm over it. I do not care. I want I want there to be an effect. I want to see change. I want to do something that's tangible. You guys get it. Point being, this isn't quote unquote rocket science, which I know is a psyop, you know, the whole rocket science thing. Well, it's not rocket science. It's hilarious. But this is stuff that you can just follow simple instructions. It takes patience, it takes fortitude, it takes sleuths, it takes people that care about saving babies' lives, and this is a real tangible thing that we can do together in order to save babies' lives, guys. So I'm not showing you the screen. I apologize. Um, so, for instance, Pensacola, the entire Escambia County in Florida has no abortion mills. In fact, I think Okaloosa doesn't have any either, which is the next county over, or something like that. I don't know. No, Santa Rosa is the next county over, but I don't think that they have any either, and then even Okaloosa doesn't have any. So I think you have to go like, and then about Alabama. Alabama's up here at the top. Let's see, Alabama supposedly had 5, but according to here, let's go to the website, click on Alabama. Got 1, 2, 3. So they had 5, now they have 3. So, for instance, we got 535, 811, 4831, 4831, 535, 811. So 717 halted. See, I already have it marked in here. Oh, see, there's a difference between halted and closed. You see the 3 categories here. Actually, you can't see up there, but on the actual up here above where you can't see it is, anyway, it's fine. It says open, closed, halted. So halted is a different classification than closed, according to nonstop Iran news. It's so annoying. Um, oh, there was a second page. All of these people, baby killers. Yashika White, Willie Parker, Shandini Radu, Sarah Dilley, Samuel Lett, Sabrina Wyatt, Roosevelt McCorvey. These guys are complicit or implicitly killing babies. Richard Davis, Nicholas Cataldo, Max Michael III, Margaret Boozer, Lewis Thomas and Payne, John Gibson Currington, Hedwige Dee St. Louis. All those people have participated in or complicitly allowed baby murder. And you guys know Alabama was one of the states to like put a halt on the whole abortion thing in the first place. And then it got overturned by the Supreme Court because there's no such thing as state sovereignty, unfortunately. So, is there a need for this? Duh. Can we do something about it? Yes, we can. It is important. We can do something about it. This is one of many methods. Feel free to choose your own. If you're interested in this method, feel free to email operationbabylandlord@gmail.com, and I am happy to open your permissions, share this document with you, and allow you to contribute to this master list in the process that I just demonstrated with a random abortion mill in North Carolina. You watched me do it. Every state is different. Some states are much more tedious and annoying and will make you feel like it's impossible. In some cases, you will have to see things that you wish you didn't have to see, such as descriptions of the heroes of these abortion mills, because they paint these people in a hero light, and it's demonic and it's scary in a sad, desperately sad kind of way. It's heartbreaking, guys. This is not easy work, but it's work that needs done, and I need a lot of helpers. And there's only been between 2 and 5 people watching tonight. It's definitely a lower stream kind of night. Um, it probably has something to do with Owen having a replay and 1,500 people being, watching him. But that there's also Stephen Ignoramus. He's going. PewDiePie. I don't think any bears care about PewDiePie, actually. Um, but yeah, I mean, you've got
20%.
well, he's only got 5 people watching him, so that doesn't count. I was gonna say Semper Reloaded, but ever since he denounced the Bears, I think he's kind of lost his entire crew.
And that
Well, a lot of them. But yeah, 1,500 people are watching Owen Benjamin right now. So, point being, this message needs communicated. And I'm not telling you to go shill on Owen's page by any means, but by whatever means you have, if you have the ability to communicate to others, to let them know um, what's going on. Operation Baby Landlord has been an idea for nearly a year. Thanks, Homestead Bound Bear. Um, it's been an idea for nearly a year, and it has made very little progress. Back in April, I was under the impression that we would be able to be done with the list by December. And it fell apart. There were struggles, there were interruptions, but I made a commitment that I would not give up. And I will not, because if only the 25 to 30 or 35 owners get postcards, at least those guys get postcards. And I can do that. And you can too. So we need researchers. It doesn't require money to do this. It requires time. Quote unquote, the most precious resource is time. So I had many people, just for full disclosure. Hey, Freddie, for full disclosure, I had plenty of people helping with this. Well, I say plenty. There was 2 or 3 people that were helping with this, and they too got very tired. They got worn out because it was tough work. Now, Freddie, speaking of, was here for this. I just looked back through the old emails and I saw an email from Freddie. Freddie has known about Operation Baby Landlord. He tried to contribute via some type of software programming method, which is, for all intents and purposes, unnecessary in this case. There's not really a great need to streamline this, because the main issue is the sleuth work. That's the main issue that makes this most difficult. So, with that being said, are there ways that this could get better? Sure. As you continue to learn those, feel free to share. But as for right now, the sleuth work of determining the owner's names, the owner's addresses, and putting that information in the form. Let me share it again. Putting the information in the form that's the work that needs to be done. Glad to hear that, Freddie. I would love to talk to you personally. It doesn't have to be on stream at all, Freddie. But I'm sure you know the different ways to contact me. Um, I share my Discord on the D Live. If you go to my page on D Live, you can click on my Discord. Not just you, Freddie, but anybody. Um, I'm not. I heard completely what you were saying. I'm not looking to get into a peeing contest with anyone. Um, but I do want you to know the gospel, Freddie. And I know what you think you know to some degree. I understand where you're coming from. Um, but also would love and appreciate the opportunity to, because I believe that you're a person that seems to care about learning the truth. Um, I would love to share with you uh, what I wholeheartedly believe to be true, and according to the Bible, which I also wholeheartedly trust, and I hope one day you will too. With that being said, this stream has been about Operation Baby Landlord. Apparently, um, my headset has definitely survived, um, which is fantastic. It survived a lot longer than I expected. Um, but I hope that a whole lot more people see this video than have been watching tonight. And I hope that we get a lot more people emailing operationbabylandlord@gmail.com, because we need a lot of sleuths. And if there's any way that you can share this message with anybody via your methods, feel free. For people that hate abortion, those are the ones that we need working on this, because it's going to take a great hatred of abortion, a great love for God to work towards um, this valid, beneficial goal. And just for anybody that has any level of doubt in regards to the significance of this concept, let me say this. I believe that God has created us in his image, and that there is significance to that, that there is a specialness to that. And as a result, life is sacred. And as a result, we ought to do our best to protect that life. Life is not futile, and it is worth protecting. So, if you hate abortion, and if you want to have a tangible and inexpensive part in potentially ending one or more abortion mills and saving countless lives, this is one of the ways. If this isn't your way, find a different one. Everybody has a different purpose. Some of you probably have other ways that you're serving. Do that, do something. But if you're looking for a way to contribute, I need help. And I've been saying that for a while now. But like I said, I wouldn't give up, and I'm going to keep pushing forward. And I will be making this part of my regular routine. So you will be seeing much more of Operation Baby Landlord. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Well, I guess you're maybe already gone. Homestead Bound Bear, but thank you for your comments. Does anybody have any questions? Just increasing the font here. And then resizing that again. We'll keep it at 100, but maybe I should just make it wider. We'll go to F again. We'll go to there. Okay, well, we need to make it bigger then. Go 1 through 10. Resize. I saw that there was a comment. Give me just a moment. 125. Okay. All right. Good to go. That's a little bit easier to read. I will do this, and there you go. So now that's a little bit easier to read on this page. But anyway, caught up on but all right, my headset is dying for real, for real. Caught up on the video late. Did you go through the process of finding landlords? Yes, I did. And more specifically, it is on the instructions page of the document that I more than likely have already shared with you. Let me get off of this here and double check. Let's see, Freddie. Yeah, Freddie, I have already shared this document with you. It's at your USU email. I'm just sharing part of your email, not the whole thing. So I have nearly 20 people that are shared with this. With this document. We all got busy, and yeah, I get it. It's fine. So let me include intoxicating. Okay. That's insane stuff right there. A Ukrainian airplane with 180 people aboard crashes in Iran. The Iran news is beyond absurd. Completely insane. Again, type this. Okay, so that is the email address that you can use. Email that address, identifying who you are, your bear name or whatever, and I will add you to the document. You know what to do. Share this video, and let's continue to expand. Like I said, I'll continue to discuss the topic. Maybe we'll even do a group stream on it on Friday. I really want to see some traction with this, because the lack of traction is very disappointing. momentum is contagious, and we want to make this a viral thing. But on the other hand, we also want to do what we can to protect it. Um, we want to keep it relatively decentralized. Yeah, decentralized, and that's the whole process of having multiple copies. Um, so the multiple copies situation is the backup. Now, of course, it's a Google Doc, and it'd be annoying if that's lost. But if it's lost, everybody would still have a copy, and we can still continue to work together on it. So, and we'll just start over, but we'll have backups, tons of backups. Um, yes, absolutely, I agree, Freddie. Um, Anybody that wants to get in touch with me, don't forget, I'm sharing my D Live, or on D Live, I'm sharing my Discord. Just click on the link, add me on Discord. Please tell me who you are, because otherwise I usually just ignore it, because I have certain troll-like people that are trying to reach me on there. So just say who you are, and it's all good. Yeah, I don't have much else to say, guys, except the same thing I always say: love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. Okay, one of the most important possible things you could ever do. Recognize that the Lord your God is the creator of the universe. He made all things. He is preeminent. He existed before time. He always existed. There was no beginning. There was no beginning. He is the beginning. Remember the stark difference between creator and creation. And God is creator. And there is a vast difference between creator and creation. We are creation. He is creator. And that stark difference between the two ought to be recognized. It's part of what defines who God is. It's very significant, guys. But anyway, everybody have a great night, great life. And the only way that's possible is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. Amen, amen, and amen.